From Illinois Public Media News, this is 217 Today. I'm Kimberly Schofield. It's Wednesday, August 28th. Coming up, we'll hear about the public health impact of natural disasters. That story in just a few minutes, but first, these headlines. As the school year kicks off, University of Illinois administrators are reminding students of their right to free speech while reminding them to stick to policy. The spring semester ended in Urbana-Champaign with students camping out to protest Israel's war in Gaza. U of I police tried to break up the encampments on the first day. Half a dozen protesters received court summons over the summer on mob action felony charges. Not everyone charged was a university student. The university has created a free speech website. It highlights relevant laws and policies, university and outside resources, as well as ways to report violations and concerns. Drivers in Urbana could see the local fuel tax more than double next year. City council members are considering whether to raise the tax from 5 cents per gallon to 10 or 12 cents. However, not all councilors are ready to make the increase just yet. Councilmember James Quisenberry suggested at Monday's meeting making small increases over time so people can adapt.
I guess I would encourage considering a model that steps into it over time, over like the first 3 years or first 4 years, and gets us to the place where it's moving up based on CPI after that.
Urbana Public Works Director Tim Cohen says the revenue from the increase would fix and maintain roads in the city. He says Urbana roads rank lower than neighboring cities. A 2022 survey of city roads found 40% were poor or worse quality. Urbana has opened its first fully multilingual school. Some Yankee Ridge Elementary families are excited, and some are still unsure about the change. IPM's Stephanie Mosqueda has more.
Mayeli Cordero Mata is the parent of a Yankee Ridge second grader who moved with the Spanish-English program from Dr. Preston Williams Elementary School. Mata says she thinks parents were not given enough time by Urbana District 116 to understand the changes being made. She says, I feel like we did not have the opportunity to analyze, see, and listen to what changes were going to be made and why. They just said there was going to be a change, and that was it. Teachers and administrators pushed to consolidate the dual language programs into one school for over 2 years, saying they could better serve Spanish speakers that way. Mata says she will continue to track her child's Spanish skills and education to determine whether the change is working. I'm Stephanie Mosqueda, IPM News.
Illinois Secretary of State Alexi Giannoulias is trying to increase access to the court system through public libraries. Mawa Iqbal has more.
18 libraries will have a designated space for people to appear in court remotely, e-file documents, and get legal resources. Most of those libraries are in the Chicagoland area and surrounding collar counties. The libraries were chosen based on factors like broadband internet and transportation constraints, as well as legal need in the area. According to a press release from the Secretary of State's office, the goal is to reach people who don't have legal representation. Giannoulias, in the release, said libraries have, quote, always served as a hub for learning and finding answers. In addition, some librarians will be trained on how to offer information on specific types of cases like child custody and divorce. I'm Mawa Iqbal.
Still to come, we'll hear about the public health impact of natural disasters. That story is coming up next on 217 Today.
Next time on the 21st show, as the Paralympics begin, we'll hear from Paris-bound competitors who have Illinois ties, including Oksana Masters of Champaign and Chicago-born Marco De La Rosa. I'm Brian Mackey. That's next time on the 21st show. Join us.
You're listening to 217 Today. I'm Kimberly Schofield. It's been an active natural disaster season in the Midwest. Some extreme weather events like flooding are due to climate change, while others like tornadoes are fueled by factors like warm and cold jet streams getting trapped in an active storm. These natural disasters strike in a matter of minutes, even seconds. But Side Effects Public Media's Natalie Krebs reports that they can have many long-lasting consequences for community health.
It only took 1 minute for an EF4 tornado to rip through the small town of Greenfield, Iowa last May. Flying debris and fierce violent winds with a speed of more than 180 miles per hour severely damaged more than 100 houses. It also blew out the windows of the Adair County Memorial Hospital and sent a car flying into the side of the building.
There were glass shards on our walls, so we had to essentially tear everything down, re-drywall it, and then repaint it.
That's Catherine Hillestead, the CEO of the hospital. She's standing in the medical surgical unit. She says every single department sustained damage. 3 months after the storm damage, the hospital has just started to reopen. Over the summer, some services were relocated to the elementary school across town. Hillestead says many residents have also had to travel as far as an hour away for care. She says even though these issues should be resolved in the coming months, she expects that terrifying afternoon to impact the community for a long time to come.
Obviously it'll be definitely something with mental health that it'll be a long-lasting effect. The PTSD, the trauma that was inflicted upon multiple people.
Sudden extreme weather events like flooding and severe storms can have many negative consequences for mental health, including trouble sleeping and depression-like symptoms. A growing body of research has linked climate change to mental health concerns. Scientists have not conclusively linked tornadoes to climate change, but the emotional impact can be as devastating as other climate change-related disasters. Tammy Jacobs is a hotline manager for Iowa Concern, which provides resources after disasters. She says often issues like post-traumatic stress disorder don't show up until months after the event.
Whenever it starts to, the sky gets gray and black again, then those who've experienced tornadoes, they just start to remember that experience that they had with the tornadoes.
Jacob says many people also face ongoing stress trying to figure out disaster assistance options and what to do with their damaged home.
The majority of folks don't have flood insurance. Their homeowner's insurance will pay for very little of the things that were impacted. So just the frustration of working through trying to rebuild.
And when people aren't able to do things like properly dry out their houses after a flood or tornado, it can lead to other health concerns besides just mental strain. Alicia Vasto is the water program director at the Iowa Environmental Council.
Standing water in a home for a long period of time can create a bunch of indoor health hazards like mold. It could also create a breeding ground for mosquitoes, which are, of course, vectors of disease.
Vasto says she also worries about drinking water contamination when floodwaters push agricultural chemicals, sewage, and other hazards into water supplies.
Private wells or public water sources where they're drawing that water from and have increased amounts of bacteria or other kinds of chemicals that would be dangerous to human health.
These health concerns will continue as extreme weather events have become more common due to rising temperatures from climate change. Maureen Litchfeld is an environmental health expert at the University of Pittsburgh. She says policymakers need to create a comprehensive plan to address climate change, and they should work with communities that are affected by extreme weather events.
They might not call it climate change, but if flooding or tornadoes are their concerns, we need to meet them where they are, and we need to come up collaboratively with solutions.
She says until this happens, communities across the Midwest will continue to be hit with extreme weather events and the lasting impacts that come with them. Natalie Krebs, Side Effects Public Media.
Side Effects Public Media is a health reporting collaboration of NPR member stations across the Midwest. It's based at WFYI in Indianapolis. And finally, in your forecast, meteorologist Andrew Pritchard says today will be mostly cloudy with a chance of showers and thunderstorms and a high of 87 degrees. That's it for today. 2 in 7 Today is produced by Stephanie Mosqueda. Reporting today contributed by May Antar, Anuliko Chuba, Stephanie Mosqueda, Mawa Iqbal, and Natalie Krebs. Music by the Kilbourne Alley Blues Band. Reginald Hardwick is our news director. I'm Kimberly Schofield. 2 in 7 Today is a production of Illinois Public Media. Thanks for listening, stay safe, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow.